Alright, so dividend policy, there are 4 policy that the dividend can be distributed to the shareholders. Because sometimes company they does not have enough cash to distribute as the dividend. So they can apply, because every year company need to distribute dividend. But check if the company does not have enough cash, what they can do. So they can apply another types of policy. So now in in chapter 8, we're going to learn about dividend policy. So the first dividend policy is cash dividend. So cash dividend is normal lah. Dividend is giving out in a form of cash. So example like Encik Nazri own 100 shares of Samdabi, example lah. Okay, for example, Encik Nazri, he owns 100 shares of Samdabi, and then Samdabi announced that there is a cash dividend of 20 ringgit, 0.2 ringgit per share. So how much Encik Nazri would receive during the dividend, during the payment of dividend? So we just time the dividend per share times with shares that the investors own. So Encik Nazri own 100 shares, 100 unit of shares times with dividend per share. So the answer is 20 ringgit. So Encik Nazri will receive 20 ringgit during the dividend payment. So it is cash dividend. Cash dividend is easy lah, because every people will think that dividend will be in the form of cash. So what if the company don't have enough cash to give out as dividend? So they might apply another policy of dividend. So the second policy of dividend is stock dividend. So instead of giving out a cash dividend, company also can give stock dividend. So stock dividend means that they give extra units of stock ataupun extra units of shares. Okay, so example, Encik Nazri owns 100 shares. So Encik Samdabi recently announced to pay stock dividend of 10%, and the share price is 2 ringgit. So what happened, even the price is 2 ringgit, after the stock dividend, the price will decrease. Okay, because of the increase of shares, the increase of the shares number. So the additional shares, you need to know how much is the additional shares. So Samdabi announced that there is a 10% shares, right? So 10% times how much shares that we own. So it is 10 shares. So how much is the new shares that Encik Nazri now own? It's 100 plus 10. So the answer is 110 shares. Now Encik Nazri own 110 shares. So with the new numbers of shares that Encik Nazri have, so that is the price will decrease. So before share dividend, the price is 2 ringgit, but after share dividend, the price will decrease. So it is, instead of 2 ringgit, so now the new price is 1 ringgit point 82. Okay. You're not required to calculate in exam. You're not required to calculate the types of you're not required to calculate all this, but you need to understand what is cash dividend, what is stock dividend, only that. Third policy is stock split. So what is stock split? Stock split can be stock split. It also can be reverse stock split. Stock ke share ke is the same thing. Okay, stock split means that the numbers of shares is increasing. Why? Why stock split happen is because of the company want to reduce the price per share. So that's why they do the stock split. Contohnya, a unit of let's say a unit of shares is like this. Okay, it's like this. So when stock split happen, so from one share it become, for example, the split is 2 4 1. So from it means that from one share it become 2 shares. So it's split into 2 new shares. So it is split. If it is 3 for 1, so it is 3 lah. It divided into 3 new smaller shares. So it is stock split. Okay, let us look at the example. Encik Nazri own 100 shares of Sandabi. So Sandabi recently announced to pay stock split dividend 2 for 1. The share price is 2 ringgit. Okay, so the total shares after the split is 100 shares. So from 100 shares, when that is a stock split 2 for 1, so the new shares now is equal to 200 shares. So after 2 for 1 stock split, Encik Nazri now owns 200 numbers of shares. Okay, before stock split, the price is 2 ringgit. But after stock split, the price you need to divide by 2. Okay, so actually the total shares that you own is still the same. Can you see why it's still the same? Because, okay, I show you before split. Before split, price per unit is 2 ringgit. And Encik Nazri owns 100 shares. So the value that Encik Nazri owned from Sandabi is 200 ringgit. But after split, 2 for 1, the price decreased to 1 ringgit. And the numbers of shares now is 200 shares. Still, the value is the same. Nampak? Can you see that? So actually before split and after split, the value of the shares that Encik Nazri owns does not have any effect. It does not change at all. So it is stock split. So basically the purpose of doing stock split is to reduce the price per unit. Okay, so it is stock stock split. So reverse stock split. Reverse stock split maksudnya dia terbalik daripada, it's a vice versa of stock split lah. So we call it as reverse stock split. So I just show you reverse stock split. So example is 1, 4, 2. So before this, the price per unit is RM1. Okay, and Encik Nazri own 200 shares. So when we find the total of this, it is RM200. But then after reverse stock split, the price now become RM2, but the shares is 100 shares, only 100 shares. So still, the value have no any change. So it is reverse stock split. So in stock split, there is stock split and also reverse stock split. So for any question? All right. The fourth dividend is share repurchase. Share repurchase means that the company that issues the share want to buy back the shares from the supplier, from the investors, ataupun from the shareholders. So we call it as share repurchase. So company want to company do share repurchase is because of they want to increase the demand of their share. So when the demand increase, they able to push up the price. They able to push the price to higher. Okay. In a normal way. Before this, we do the stock split. We do reverse stock split because the company want to increase the price per unit. But the company also can increase the price per unit naturally by increasing the demand. So they invest in the company by buying their own shares. So that is one reason. Another reason is because of they want to get back the ownership. The ownership of the company. So remember, shareholders represent owners of the company. So how much is the percentage of the shares that you own? That percentage represent the ownership of the company. So you have the C in the company. So company do the share repurchase is because of they want to increase the percentage of the ownership to the company. They want to own their own company lah basically. So they do the share repurchase. So it is share repurchase. So it's legal. It's legal. See? I always tell this to my student. Example like Gati, the example of Gati. Before the time of Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, Gati is wholly belongs to British. So what Dr. Mahathir did during that time is they bought the share for Malaysia. So under the name of PNB and I just remember PNB lah. Okay, so they buy the shares from London Stock Exchange. Then after that, Dr. Mahathir announced that now Gatri and Samdabi fully apa ni bukan whole, fully, it's apa ke nama dia tu, bukan monopoli, ada satu kataan tu, apa, more than half, we call it as then now the ownership of the company belongs to Malaysian, no longer belongs to British, because the percentage of Malaysian holding the shares of the company is more than 50%. So the ownership now belongs to Malaysian and it is no longer belongs to British. So it's just story lah, according to share purchase. Okay, so so these are the 4 policy of dividend. So the first one is cash dividend, second is stock dividend, third is stock split and reverse stock split, and the fourth one is share repurchase. So the timeline of dividend payment, it starts with declaration of date. Okay, the company will start to declare what types of dividend that they are going to use and when the dividend will be distributed. So it starts with declaration. You start to declare the declaration date. Then after that, it's about 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 weeks. So there is a ex-dividend date. So during ex-dividend date, the company will cut any new investors. Okay, they will cut of new buying and selling. So these are the date where the stock cannot be trading anymore. So after that, there is a date of record. It takes about 2 days of the ex-dividend date. Then after that, it takes about 1 month to 2 months to distribute. So during the date of record, they will record who are going to receive the dividend. And then during the payment date, all the receivers will receive their dividend. So it depends on what they declare. If it is a stock dividend, then they will then during the payment date, the receiver will receive more dividend. Okay, if the during the declaration date is a cash dividend, during the payment date, the investors ataupun the shareholders will receive the cash dividend according to how much shares that they own. Okay, so in dividend policy, there are a few theories in finance lah. Basically in finance, they always have lots of dividend policy theory. Okay, so the first one is bird in hand theory. It tells us that investors prefer high payout. They don't care whatever happened. What they care the most is the high dividend payout. So they prefer to have to receive the form of cash dividend. They don't want to have any other types of dividend. So it is bird in hand. Second is irrelevant theory. They don't care about the payout. They also don't care about the growth. They just want to be part of the owners of the company. That is tax preference. Tax preference, they prefer low payout. But the most important for them is the growth. Okay. So they prefer to have that they prefer that the company to have more retained earning rather than giving them the dividend. Fourth is clientele effect. Clientele effect is, it tells that different types of people have different preference. Okay, so when the company issues shares, there's a lot of shareholders will coming in. Okay, so different types of people will which coming in, they have their own motive, they have their own preference why they invest in your company. So it is clientele effect. This is signaling hypothesis. Signaling hypothesis tells us that people will make decision based on what they heard, based on what they knows, based on the news that they receive. So it gives signal on whether they want to buy or they want to sell your shares. So it is signaling hypothesis. So people make decision is based on news that they receive. Okay, the information that they have. So whether the information is right or wrong, it does not matter. The main important is the information that they receive and they make their own judgment. Then they will then they take action based on their feelings lah. So it's a signaling hypothesis. All right, so that's all about dividend policy. So the most important in dividend policy is the dividend policy theory and the policy, like the four policy that company might use to distribute the dividend.